So I just finished taking care of this instrument. I changed the thickness of the bridge. It was too thick. It was also too high. The nut was also too low down. So I've raised the nut just a little bit. And I thinned down the bridge. And I should explain what I mean by raised up the nut, since the groove for the E string in particular was a little bit too low. And normally this is not the preferred, but I got some ebony dust, put it into the nut, and then got some cyanoacrylate and put it in there, and the cyanoacrylate and the ebony kind of adhere together. And then you take that's now raised up a little bit, shave it down just a little bit, make new grooves. So I've got the new grooves, the bridge thinned down to a good height. The action, or how high the string is from the edge of the fingerboard, is also good now. I made the fingerboard just a little bit prettier. I used some really light sandpaper to bring it down a little bit, and then have given a final shine, as well as, you can't probably see it too well. I can't make it go in the look in there, but I changed the position of the sound post, so it's in a good location. And now I just figured I'd show what you do to put it all together. So I've got the end button, or the end pin, and I'm pushing that in, making sure it's all the way in. It's in a good spot there. I also needed to shorten the tailgut. It was a little bit long, so I've shortened the tailgut, and now it's not at a great angle to be able to see this, but got that there. So I've got my G, and I'm sticking it in to the tailpiece. I find it's a G. I usually just need something to help get it in there. And we've got that there, and that is in place. But what we really need to do is get that bridge in place. So now I've got the G and I've got the bridge. It's just barely tight enough to kind of hold that down. And I'm taking the E string. I have found that if I go from the E string, starting with the E string, it just doesn't put quite the same pressure. And so I usually start from the G, which keeps the bridge in place and doesn't have it move. Now I'm going to do that E right here. I'm actually going to be changing this string out in a second, but just so that I've got some pressure on that bridge, keep in place, doing that. And now what I can do is I can look and make sure it's in the right spot. And so I've got even amount of string on both sides of the fingerboard, seeing it line up straight across, and a little bit more pressure on the G. And I usually then go D string, since the D will get in the way of the A. Now a little bit of pressure on the D string, just keep it moving from moving out of place, and the A string as well. And I've already loosened these far enough that it's going to go into the tailpiece without any trouble, but if I needed to, I could loosen the string. And got that there, and I'm trying to keep pressure on the string as I do this, so it's not going to move. There we go. And tightening up that A. I'm usually pretty good at sounding out an A in my head. It is a little flat, but... And as these strings have been totally off, I might crank it just a little past. Now, the other thing I'm going to do as the final I'm going to take that E string off in a second, get a new one, but After you tune it, it's going to move the bridge. I don't know if you can tell, it's not straight up and down, it's slightly forward. So I'm just going to adjust it. And from my point of view here, I can see it's pretty much straight up and down. If I want to, I can lean it just barely back. Not so far that the feet aren't still touching. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, and just so you can hear the final. I'm working on. I don't really need to do this because again, I'm going to take this E off, but I'm just going to get the wrapping nice. Sometimes if the wrapping isn't well done, they can actually be harder to tune. And I'm seeing actually with the G is touching up against the peg box, which is not ideal. Normally we want it straight up and down, but in this case, I'm gonna move where the G is sitting. If they're very precise with the peg box, then the string can stay straight. But in this case, that'll work. Just slightly tilted to the side, but not touching the peg box wall. Yeah, still decently straight, maybe a little forward, and just for the final, after I've made adjustments to it, I should have played it beforehand. Yeah, he's in good shape. He's in a good spot and in good shape and needs a new chin rest. So I'll go find one because the other one that was on here was broken. But that guy's a happy guy. Once new E string is on there too, we will be good to go. But my debate is, do I take and just find because it's a decent E, I have a string protector from another string, and I might take it off of that string, stick it on this one. Although it's a pain in the bum sometimes to get it on the E. But either way, he's good.